Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for February 22nd of 2025 is titled Rima Hyginus. So what do we see here? Well, here we see an interesting feature on the surface of our moon. So this is an image of the moon, and we see a number of craters scattered around. Now, the vast majority of those craters are caused by impacts. That is, an object from space that smashes into the moon's surface and digs out a big hole in it. And that is what most of the craters are caused by, but not all of them in this image. In fact, the one at the center of the image with kind of a line, what looks like almost a fault line going through it, is actually a volcanic crater called a caldera. And that is a remnant from an early time when the moon was actually volcanically active and would be caused by molten rock from the interior making its way to the surface. Now, as far as we know, the moon has not been volcanically active for billions of years. So we are seeing here remnants of a much earlier time on the surface of the moon. Now, that is the crater at the center known as Hyginus. There is also the entire region we see with the kind of fault line stretching across there. And that is the rest of this structure, which is also considered volcanic in nature and is likely a surface fault which is partially collapsed over time. And we can see various structures there as it moves around, as it goes down toward the right hand side a little bit down, and then up diagonally toward the upper left side. So these are leftover features from an earlier volcanic time on the moon, and they differ quite a bit from the ordinary impact craters that we are used to seeing. Now, this was an area that was intended to be studied by one of the Apollo missions. And in fact, that would be Apollo 19. And of course, as we know now, the Apollo program was ended after Apollo 17. So we never got to visit this specific region, which would give us an insight into that very early history of the moon. Now, if you're looking at the features of the moon and wondering why it's such a different colors here than what we're used to seeing, usually the moon is very bland in color and very plain. Well, in this image, the colors have been highlighted to emphasize different composition areas on the moon, looking at the different mineral compositions of different areas. So the darker areas have a different composition than the lighter areas, and again may help us to learn something more about the overall structure and the past history of our nearest neighbor in space. So that was our picture of the day for February 22nd of 2025. It was titled Rima Hyginus. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be northern Saturn. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.